Hello and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, hi, hey, hello, my name is Meg and we do crafty things here. So if you like crafty things, please do consider subscribing. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing and tuning in to another video. So today we're part 5 and the final part of our Halloween knot along with bracelet book 54966. So happy Halloween, everyone. I know the last video I had said I'll post one tomorrow and it came out earlier today. However, I had set it to upload last night and then it got stuck in processing, so it never actually posted and I had to re-upload it this morning. So I guess we're doing a double upload today. So that's exciting. I definitely will not be keeping this upload pace in the future. This is kind of special because it's Halloween, but this is crazy. This is a lot for me to try and crank out, just the duration. I lucked out a bit in the sense that when it's real-time knotting, there's not a ton of editing going on, so that makes this considerably easier than if I had to sit down and edit a bunch of videos. But I do want to keep consistently uploading at least once a week for you guys, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed this Halloween special knot along. I'm actually very happy to have this pattern done because I was working on it pretty solid and I was sitting down specifically to knot it only for each segment we were doing. So this is one that I probably could have had done in like a day, and instead I split it up and I couldn't wait to get it pulled off of the table so I could film something else and work on some other stuff for you guys without having it just like in the background oddly there, you know, because I taped down to my workspace. And some of you, I never really addressed it, but some of you may have noticed that now it looks like there's little like crumbs or flecks of stuff on the table, and it's actually not. It's because I have moved my filming locale. I used to film at my kitchen table, but basically what would end up happening was on all the bigger bracelets, wall hangings, etc., I'd tape them to the table, and I didn't want to move the setup because then the shot would be completely different every single time. And the result was we weren't really able to use the kitchen table because there was constantly something taped to it and my filming setup there. So my friend asked me, she was getting rid of this desk and she asked me if I wanted it. So I took this desk, and I think she had it like when she went to college. So it is a little bit dinged up, but it's perfect because I can put my scissors, my tape, my string, everything right in the drawers on the desk, and everything is super accessible, and I can leave my things taped there and it's not affecting anything. I could still eat dinner at my table and stuff like that. So if you are noticing these little white spots, they aren't crumbs. Like, I wipe the table down before I knot every single time. And yeah, it's just little dings. So I think it's going to change shortly. It's not my full setup yet. There'll be probably another change of scenery here shortly as I finish that up in the upcoming weeks anyways. So yeah, that's what it is. The table's not actually dirty. It's just that it's an older desk that's seen a little bit of love. It's actually in quite good condition, so I can't even complain. So shout out to my friend Ray who gave that to me because it is perfect for what I needed. It really is. So anyways, looking at our pattern, the end of the last video, I was starting to express my frustration working into this part of the pattern, because it's kind of at this point that my color changes weren't tight to each other, and I don't think it ever at any point translates well on the screen from what I've seen going through like just the video. It doesn't quite translate well, but when you look at it in person, you can see little tiny dots of like the bass string sticking through, where just the color changes aren't getting as tight together as I want them to. And I don't know whether that's because it's a lot of color changes in a small space will naturally like do that. It's just difficult to pull off to begin with. But I don't know whether it's because it's so noticeable because the colors that I have here are predominantly quite dark, which makes the white bass strings stand out more, or if it's more to do with the fact that my bass strings are chunkier than my knotting strings, or the fact that I'm doing a flat alpha color change. I'm not really sure, but wasn't super thrilled with how that kind of peeked through. But the end result of this does look really fun, and I do really, really like this pattern. I've seen a few people have done it on Instagram. I think Masha just did a video with it as well. It's a really fun pattern. So I definitely recommend it for anyone who's picking up on this vibe. I know it's a little late now, but I mean, Halloween may be done today, but you could argue that it's like a Snow White wall hanging, like a Snow White poison apple, you know, could be argued. Just saying, if you're still into the spooky vibe, go for it. Why not? There's a lot of other Halloween patterns that I really like that, I don't know, I might just make them anyways because I've always been into like the supernatural stuff and like the ghosts and the, you know, skulls and that sort of thing. I've always kind of been into that vibe, so I might just start making these patterns whenever because I really do love them. But let's talk about something else. Halloween. What is your favorite candy? Or what was your favorite candy if you don't trick-or-treat anymore? What was your favorite candy to get when you were trick-or-treating? Mine was always Reese's Peanut Butter Cups and Crispy Crunch. But now the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups that they do in their Halloween package are like smaller, and I feel like the chocolate to peanut butter ratio is off and they don't taste the same. I liked it when it was the full size like Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. Anyone else? Anyone else notice that? And then Crispy Crunch is just peanut butter. And those seem to be so much harder to get now. Or not harder to get, but like I remember the last couple years that I was trick-or-treating, there was a lot less of them because everyone here is scared of peanuts. And this is actually really, really odd. So let me know if this has changed in the States. But the last time I went to the States, we went into Erie for outlet shopping. And we went to some buffet, and they literally on like their dessert buffet had just a straight up open tray of peanut butter. So if you wanted peanut butter on like, you know, whatever, it was there. You would never, ever find that in Canada. Oh my gosh, would you never? Okay, like McDonald's puts signs on their drive-thrus here saying like, we have items with peanuts. Because everyone's afraid of peanuts here. And yes, I understand like it's a severe allergy for some people, but like so is shellfish for some people. But you don't see like, we have lobster here, folks. Stay away, we have lobster. Like I was kind of found that a little bit odd where for some reason we have latched on to peanuts being a significant terrible allergy that we should look out for, but there's lots of other really terrible allergies that don't get the same level of public, I don't even know, like frenzy over it. I don't know that that's the right word, but anyways, that's kind of my thought on that. And the peanut butter chocolate has always been my favorite. That and coffee crisp. Those of you in the States probably don't know what a coffee crisp is, or anywhere else in the world, I don't think. But that's my absolute favorite chocolate bar is coffee crisp. It's like I guess it's not technically a chocolate bar. It's a candy bar. Because I know some people get very, very picky about that. It is technically a candy bar. It's like coffee flavored wafer wrapped in milk chocolate. So it's not technically a chocolate bar. Like I think when you actually talk about chocolate bar, I think Cadbury or like a dark chocolate like Hershey's bar or Lindt or something like that. That's actually just like chocolate with maybe a little bit of something in it, like maybe an almond or two or something like that. Whereas a candy bar is predominantly a bunch of stuff wrapped in a small light layer of chocolate. You know what I mean? And I think there's some, a lot of watering down of that chocolate because honestly, like milk chocolate on its own, I think is disgusting. I don't like it. I'm a dark chocolate lover myself. So like I always thought Kinder eggs were disgusting. And I don't really like white chocolate either. Ugh. First of all, white chocolate isn't even chocolate. It's just candy, you know? Anyways, end of rant. that's my thoughts on that. But what were your favorites? That's one thing, like all the Halloween patterns and stuff have candy corn in them. Does anyone actually like candy corn? Because I think that stuff's gross. Just throwing it out there. I think that stuff is pretty gross, and it's kind of tasteless, and it's just kind of a weird texture, and it's just gross. I don't know how candy corn became a thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Does anyone like absolutely love candy corn? Anyone? Let me know in the comments down below. Do you like candy corn? And what is your favorite candy to get at Halloween? If you celebrate Halloween. If you don't celebrate Halloween, is there another... I don't want to call it a holiday because Halloween really isn't a holiday. Like you don't get the day off or anything. We just dress up and eat candy. But is there like a celebration that you have in your country that you guys celebrate if you don't celebrate Halloween? Let me know. I think Halloween's kind of expanded to some other countries as well. It's not so much, like I think previously it was mostly North America that celebrated it, and now I think it's kind of expanding outwards. I could be wrong on that. I could be completely ignorant and just lacking in geological knowledge of cultural ethnicities across the world, but I don't think a lot of places actually celebrated Halloween before. I could be wrong. I feel like with social media becoming a thing, it's becoming more widespread, or maybe it's just becoming more known to me. I don't know. Anyways, so this is our last part, and I'm super excited because like I said, like this pattern is really cool. It does turn out looking really nice, but B, I'm excited because I have so many ideas for videos. I've just been feeling like I got a lot of new fresh ideas, so I'm pretty stoked about that. Now, so far as Halloween plans go, I know in the last couple videos I had said I wasn't sure what we were going to do, and then things kind of got solidified this morning when my daughter woke up with a fever. So this is like the first time she's ever been like actually sick. So she woke up with a fever of 102, so quite a bit warmer than she should be. So today's just been kicking back and relaxing. I was debating on going to a get together with my coworkers because we're all around each other all day, every day, all week anyways. So we were like, well, what difference does it make if we like get together outside of work? So we were going to do that, but or I was going to do that. Would have been fun to get out, but the little munch isn't really feeling good, and it's the first time she's been really sick, so we're just sticking close to home and giving lots of snuggles, and hopefully she feels better tomorrow. She got some good sleep in today, and she seems to be feeling a bit better than she was this morning, because this morning she woke up with a good fever and was really just quiet and not having a lot of fun. So hopefully she's feeling good tomorrow, if not the next day. Otherwise, I'm going to be home next week, so to take care of a sick little baby, because daycare is not going to watch her sick. Nobody wants to deal with a sick baby. So hopefully she starts to feel better. But otherwise, yeah, I don't even think we haven't even had anyone ring our doorbell or anything here. I really don't think many kids are trick-or-treating this year. Like, trick-or-treating isn't formally canceled in our province. Like, I think a couple of the other provinces have actually like canceled trick-or-treating. You're not allowed to go out trick-or-treating, and you're not allowed to have any parties or gatherings, you know, all that stuff. But this year we haven't even had anyone ring the doorbell. So not that we have candy to give out anyways, because we weren't planning on, if anything, we were planning on going out, me out to a gathering, and my mans and the baby going out trick-or-treating for a little bit, but that's been axed, so I don't think there's really anyone out. Also, this morning I went out to my vehicle to 3 inches of snow on top of it, so it wouldn't be a very pleasant trick-or-treating experience when there's like 4 or 5 inches of snow on the ground already. I probably would have just, if that was me, we never had that much snow on the ground when I went trick-or-treating. Because I lived on the other side of the country at that time as well. Yeah, it would have been like just started snowing Halloween evening sort of thing. So you wouldn't have had all that. And I remember the days that it was snowing, like it was miserable and cold and wet. It wasn't super fun. You just were happy to have all the candy at the end. But I would not want to have trick-or-treated in like inches of snow. I probably would have just tried to convince my mom to just buy us candy and would have stayed home. Or maybe gone to a friend's house. We always went trick-or-treating with my one friend, so probably would have like gone over there, ate candy, and watched Halloween movies or something, or just stayed home and watched Halloween movies. Haven't really watched any Halloween movies this year though. And honestly, I'm gonna make a confession. Everyone freaks out about Hocus Pocus every year. I've never watched it. And I've noticed that it's on Disney Plus, and I feel like I should sit down and watch it, maybe like tonight or something. But I've never watched it. I don't know what the like the big draw is to it. It was never one that I watched. I always watched like Nightmare Before Christmas and Halloween Town. Halloween Town was the big one. It was always on Family Channel. Every year around Halloween, we used to watch that all the time. And yeah, Nightmare Before Christmas, of course, used to watch that. And that's about it for like Halloween movies. I always loved Halloween a lot more than I think like my mom and my brother did. So if I'd had it my way, we would have like decked the house out. And then I moved out here, and we didn't really know anyone out here, so I didn't have people to like get together with and celebrate. So there was a few years there where we literally didn't do anything because we were in an apartment building, so we weren't like handing out candy or anything. So yeah, that was this was like the first year we were maybe going to actually do something, and it ended up blah. So is what it is, but hopefully you guys found some way to have a good Halloween, whether that was just binging handfuls of candy and watching movies, or actually going out and maybe getting some trick-or-treating in, because like sames. Wasn't it always the worst? And I don't know if people still do this, but I remember when we used to trick-or-treat, there'd be some houses that would give you a can of pop. And what we started doing was we would take pillowcases, because whenever we got those fancy like trick-or-treating bags, they'd always fall apart. So we'd take pillowcases and we'd bring an extra one, and we'd put all the pop in it. Excuse me. We'd put all the pop in it. So we'd like bring a wagon, and we'd put all of our pop cans into a separate bag so it didn't like keep crushing our candy and stuff. And you wouldn't have to carry around like 6 cans of pop while you were trick-or-treating. Do people even do that anymore? I don't know if people do that anymore, if that's really a thing. I feel like it's not. Also, I remember when I was younger, one of our favorite places to stop was actually my dentist's house. This sounds really weird, but he would give out full-size candy bars and a toothbrush. So you would get a full-size candy bar and a toothbrush if you went there. So always liked that, because A, full-size candy bar, but B, I'm also someone who's always like obsessively brushed their teeth. So always enjoyed a fresh toothbrush too. That sounds really weird, but I mean, it's what it is. Anyways. So I'm looking at the start of this video, like right now, what you guys are seeing. I had started filming it last night after I did the other part there. And then partway through this, I was talking about going and getting my nails done. And then I started looking up prices around town here, and it's just ridiculously expensive. So I ended up getting more press-ons. You'll see them later in the video. And I tried some tips to make them last longer. So far they've been good. I haven't had any pop off, but I just put them on today. But my last experience with a different brand of like press-on nails, fake nails, they like popped off in the same day. So hopefully these stay on nicely, and then I just won't waste my money at the salon. Maybe I'll invest in like some good like press-on nails. Like, I know there's a bunch of Etsy shops and like small businesses that sell really nice like gel polish handmade press-on nails, and I'd be really interested in maybe getting some of those, investing a little bit of money in like a nice solid reusable pair. But for now, we'll see if this works. If they stay on for a while without a bunch of pop-offs, then maybe I'll do that. We'll see. I've been thinking too about, like, a while ago I posted I was going to do a buying from bracelet makers on like Etsy and stuff, and just sharing my experience and like my bracelets and stuff that I got. And I still want to do that, but I've also further been thinking, because I've been seeing a lot of small business TikTok compilations showing up in my YouTube feed, and I've watched a bunch of them and watched a bunch, like a few on TikTok. I'm not super into TikTok still, but I was thinking maybe it would be fun to just do a small business like shopping haul and just order some things from some small businesses, because I follow so many like artists and stuff on Instagram and on YouTube and everything. I kind of think it would be fun to support some small businesses and just haul what I get and talk about the experience. And there is a press-on nail account that I follow that I'd be really interested in hitting up, and like some jewelry stuff, and of course some bracelet stuff and all of those things. I think that would be a fun video. But I want to like save a little extra in pocket before I do that, because some of the artists that I follow, like there's Bella Enchanted Studios does polymer clay sculptures of like little dragons, and they are stunning. They are beautiful, and I really want one, but they're like $100. So your girl's gonna need to save some money if she wants to get some real nice stuff, okay? So that I hope will come in the future, but I think between now and then I'll probably do like a bracelet one, because a lot of people have Etsy shops for bracelets and stuff, and I know not a lot of them get a lot of sales. I know my shop doesn't get a ton of sales. I don't expect it to. It's not something, I'm not like, this is my business, I'm trying to make money off of it. I more or less put stuff up in it because people, if I don't, people ask me if I'm selling, and then people get really rude about me turning around and saying I'm not selling. And then people get even more rude when they find out I'm not selling, and then I say something in a video like, or in a comment or something, that I gave away bracelets to like one of my friends or something. They're like, oh my gosh, why would you do that? I'd pay for that and everything else. I'm like, okay, but that's not the point. So I do have some stuff up in an Etsy shop. The link is in like my Instagram bio. But I don't update it a ton. Like I said, it's not something that I'm like, this is my small business. I don't even consider it a small business. So that is a thing. But what about you guys? Do you guys have any small businesses? Whether it's bracelets or not, do you have any small businesses? Let me know down below if you do, and what it is that you sell. Maybe someone listening does press-on nails, or just actual jewelry, or bracelets, or something else. Let me know, because I've seen a lot of really cool stuff on Instagram and everything, and I'd like to support some actual artists, because I know a lot of people don't appreciate the work and the time and the effort that goes into creating things, and I definitely want to show support for those people, because y'all, some of you, I am sure, as well as some of the people I follow on Instagram and everything, are amazing. Just chef's kiss, like stunning work. So like, round of applause to you guys who do try to make a living off of selling your art goods, because like, that is a hustle. That is a hustle and a half, and kudos to you, man, because I don't think I could do it. I don't have the drive to be like, I want to sell my goods and make a living off of it. It's just kind of like a side hobby for me. So yeah. Anyways, we're coming near the end of these drips, and I'm pretty excited about that. We're getting closer to the end of this, and it's kind of it's honestly, it's a little bit sweet because by the time I was at this part, like I was explaining before, I wasn't too happy with how my color changes were looking. I hadn't really fully recovered it from the warping on the edge and on the edges. I talked about that in the last video. I guess I didn't really cover it in this one. I expect most of you, if you are here for part 5, have probably watched at least one of the previous parts. But in the last part, the black strings on the outer edges were starting to bow upwards. And I'm not entirely sure why. I had said I think it may be because of how close to the edge this pattern goes, that doing the normal color change and then a flat alpha color change back and forth affects the size of the knots, which in turn affected where like the row went. Like the row got pushed up more because some of the knots are smaller than others. I'm thinking that's what happened. That's what makes the most sense to me. And yeah, I was having some issues with getting my color changes really as tight as I normally would like them. So that was a little bit disappointing, but this pattern is really, really cool. And I am quite happy with how it turned out. And I'm thinking, people ask me like where I hang these. And right now I just kind of have them on like, I don't know, kind of all hung up on like a nail on my wall. Not really displaying them or anything. But this one, I've kind of been thinking I might put like a longer string on it and put it on like my rear view mirror in the car or something. I don't know. I'm not really sure. I think that would look kind of cool. But I don't know if I want anything swinging from my rear view mirror. So I might not do that. But we'll see. If it happens, you guys will, I'll put a picture on Instagram so you guys can see. But I think for now, it's just going to hang with the other ones. And maybe one day I'll find a different spot for it. But for now, it's probably just going to join the other ones. Yeah. I'd like to maybe get like a bulletin board or something and actually just like pin them up on that above my like desk workspace there. I think that would look really cool. But until then, they're just going to hang out. I have like 2 nails on the wall and they're all just like hung on top of each other. So you can't even see all of them. It's not like I'm even trying to display them. It's just I hang them there for a while so I can kind of look at them. But I'd like them all to be displayed. Because like right now, this one is hanging on top of my bird one. Because there's already the Rolling Stones one and my little garden gnome one on top of each other. So I was like, it's going to be excessive to put a third one on there. I might as well put the second one on top of the other one. But now I can't really like see all my hard work, you know? It's frustrating. But I'm also like, it was just some of these bigger projects, I start them and I'm like, yes, this is a good idea. I really want to do this. And then I'll start recording it and I'll realize like, oh, like I can't really work on anything else because this is taking up like my recording space. Because like in my head, I'm like, I'll start this and then like I'll do it slowly where I'll record like part of it and then I'll switch and record something else or make something else and then come back to it. That's never what happens because I never want to pull up and waste all the tape that I've used up to that point just to film something else. So I just don't make anything else until I'm done the thing. So that's a little bit frustrating. And the same thing happened here. That's exactly what happened. I would have loved to have maybe recorded another video and broke these knot-alongs up a little bit, but I'm sure some of you are absolutely sick of these chatty knot-along videos. Some of you still seem to love them, so thank you for your support on that. But I'm about ready for the chatty knot-alongs to be over. I'm running out of things to talk about, and I feel like it was maybe a bad time to post this because one of you was like, well, ask for some questions on like Instagram or something. The only problem with that is I did just do a chatty string organization video not even a month ago that was posted like the very start of this month where I did answer like a ton of questions off of Instagram and YouTube, and there really wasn't a ton left like for these videos. So normally that would be the best way to go about it, but I kind of picked an unfortunate video to do right before I started this. Maybe I should have not done a chatty string organization and just done a chatty knot along instead, but next time we can go through all that. But I think I answered pretty much all the questions from that in that video. There was some that I've since covered, like who's your favorite musical artist. I've answered that in a number of videos, as well as like the last part of this not along. Also, like book recommendations. I left a bunch of other book recommendations at the end of that video. My favorite movie we've talked about in this series already. Yeah. So I think that's pretty much where we're at. I think, have we talked about me getting my pilot's license? I feel like we touched on it briefly. But I'm doing my ground school, and the ground school I chose to do was online ground school. So I'm watching these videos. So I've been actually making like a couple just core patterns, like chevrons, candy stripes, because I find if I don't do anything, I have a hard time focusing on it because I get like fidgety. Whereas if I can do something, and something like that that's so like second nature to me, I don't really have to think deeply about it. It really helps me focus. So I've actually been making, like, firing out some candy stripes and chevrons and stuff while I've been watching my ground school videos for my pilot's license. So hopefully I get my pilot's license in the next year. That would be wicked. I would be so stoked about that. That would be so cool. I don't know if I'm going to go for my full private or if I'll just do my recreational. There's even a thought of maybe just getting like my ultralight permit, because then that can kind of go towards everything else, but then I could be like flying before I would with like a recreational permit or a private license. But we'll see, because you can't actually, it's a whole thing. There's a bunch of regulations and everything, but our local airport you can't fly ultralights into. And some of you have no idea what I'm talking about, so I'm not going to rant on about it for too long, because I feel like most people don't know about it. But yeah, so that's pretty exciting. If that happens, maybe I'll take you guys up for like a vloggy video of me flying, because I think that'd be really fun, really cool. Or maybe I'll just vlog going up with my boyfriend at some point, because he's a pilot as well. So he's actually a commercial pilot. He is a pilot for like work. So maybe one time I'll do like a vlog or something with that, if you guys would be interested in that. Maybe I'll do a nodding in the air video or something. I don't know, but yeah, so that will be kind of cool. That's something I'm looking forward to doing. What about you guys? Do you have anything you're looking forward to doing, like learning a new skill, or are you taking lessons for something? Are you one of those people right now gearing up for post-secondary, college, or university? That was a stressful time, let me tell you. And I still stress out about it. I still think like maybe I should have gone back and done something else. Maybe I should go back and do something else still. And just kind of, it's a mental space. It's a mental space to be in. It's definitely stressful. So kudos to all of you who are going through that. It will get a little bit less stressful once you've kind of come to some conclusions. And if you already know what you want to do, and you have for a long time, like, kudos to you, because I was never one of those people, and I always thought it was so stressful to try and figure out what you wanted to do. And I still think that, because I still don't know really what I want to do. So that's a thing, but I'm just trying to enjoy what I'm doing now, and I do really like the job I have, and I do really like making bracelets on YouTube. So here we are making crafts, and that's what I absolutely love to do. Like, everyone's like, well, if you could just do anything, I'd be like, I'd just make crafts all day. Like, that's just what I would do. And they're like, well, that's not something you can make a career out of. And I'm like, you're right, but here I am. So yeah, I do really love doing this. But what else is going on besides the tremendous amounts of snow? Ugh, I can't believe, like, I don't like snow. And I don't like snow, probably, I feel like it's because I don't really have any, like, winter activities. I have tried cross-country skiing because it was a thing we had to do in school, and I hated it. I did not enjoy cross-country skiing. I did not enjoy snowshoeing. I tried snowboarding and just could not get it, so I didn't enjoy snowboarding. I haven't tried downhill skiing because I was like, if I don't like cross-country skiing, why would I like going mock chicken down a hill on skis? just doesn't seem like logic to me. I do kind of like skating, but I'm not like super into it either. So I don't know. I feel like I need a winter hobby and I just don't really have one. I just kind of hibernate inside all winter and wait for it to get warm out again. And I feel like I should maybe find like a sport or a hobby or something winter related that would maybe make me like winter a little more. But what do you guys do in the winter? If you're like me, you just get a lot of books, kind of stock up on craft supplies and just stay inside all winter, reading and crafting, maybe watching some movies and call it a day. Whereas there's some of my friends are like, yeah, I'm going to go out snowboarding, then I'm going to go out downhill skiing this day, and we're going skating on this day and tubing on this day. And I'm like, why do you even want to be outside? It's cold, it's wet, it's miserable. I don't know why people like winter. It looks pretty, like the first couple snowfalls look really pretty when you got like the snow on the trees, but it's pretty from inside. From inside looking out, it's pretty. Outside, I don't want to be there. No. No, thank you. If I could live somewhere that was warm year round, I would. Like 100%. There isn't really anywhere in Canada though that is warm year round. That's just Canada for you. I mean, you can move to like the Okanagan Valley, which doesn't stay like hot year round, but stays relatively mild in the winter in comparison to other places in Canada. But then of course, somehow I ended up in like northern Canada. And I don't know what the heck I was thinking there, but it's frosty. We do get really, really hot summers though, because we're far enough north that in the summer we have daylight for a very extended period of time. The sun doesn't really ever fully go down. So we do get really hot, long summer days, which is awesome when it's hot. But that's my daughter knocking at the door. She's just learned to knock. And she's learned that that means you want in. So she's standing outside the door. She'll run around and then come and knock a few times and then run around some more. Then go play with her Barbies and watch a movie, eat some food, come back and knock on the door again. But if I let her in here, she'll just come in and smash the keyboard, because there's a gaming keyboard on this computer that like lights up and does fancy light sequences, and she just wants to smash it. So can't really do that while you're doing this, and I would really like to get this up at a semi-decent time instead of like 1 o'clock in the morning. So here we are. Well, my daughter's in here now. She just threw up on the carpet, so she's gonna hang out with us and do the rest of the voiceover. You want to say something? No? No thoughts? What do you think? And now she's being very, very quiet. Poor little munchkin. Think you got the flu, huh? Mwah. Yeah, you're hot again. So that's basically what's going on here. We're tapering into the end of our apple here, which is super exciting. And these drips are done. Thank the Lord, because I was not very happy with the color changes in there. So I'm quite happy. We're almost done this. I'm super excited. If you guys have stuck around this long, thank you so much. If you've knotted this, tag me, let me see your creations. I noticed someone did a variation on this that does have red drips on the website, on Bracelet Book. So that looked kind of cool. That kind of gave me a bit of a laugh because I was like, that's exactly what I was talking about. Looks kind of like a candy apple versus like the poison apple. So that was really fun to see. I'm really happy with how this is turning out. And there isn't really any pictures on that pattern yet, so I'll be excited to post a picture there. I don't think I'm going to upload these videos there because it's just it's a lot. If it was a single video, I might attach it there, but I don't think I'm going to upload the entire series to Bracelet Book. That just seems like a lot. Also, I'll probably just put a picture there myself, but those of you who are here and joined along, thank you so much. I hope you really enjoyed this as much as I did. And oh, it's so satisfying to come to the end of one of these because it's a lot of knotting, and when you're working on exclusively that pattern and not really anything else, you get bored of it pretty quick. I've realized, even someone like me who really enjoys knotting, I like to switch it up, and I try not to because then I end up with a bunch of bracelets started and nothing finished. Classic crafter attitude. So I've been trying a lot lately to start something and finish it and not have like half finished projects everywhere, but it's a bit of a task, you know, bit of a difficulty. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I just give up. Someone asked if I would do a Disney princess pattern tutorial, and I have one. I have one that is like I did like 80% completion and then never finished because I just got so sick of looking at it. And now if I were to go back to it, it's on like my old setup, so it would look kind of odd, but I have thought about going back and finishing it because it's like 8 hours plus of footage. It'll just be one of those patterns that'll take like 2 weeks to go through. And I'd filmed it as a tutorial, and it would be the biggest alpha tutorial I've ever done. So I have debated on revisiting it, but at current, the footage is still saved to my computer. I just haven't done it, but we shall see. And those of you who asked for a Disney princess pattern, what Disney princess would you like to see? Because for me, when I was growing up, my favorite was like Pocahontas. Now, she's technically not a princess, but I think she is still grouped in with the Disney princess kind of clan, squad, clique, whatever you want to call them. But I loved that movie. I loved the scene. I thought she was so cool because she like jumped off the top of the waterfall, and the colors of the wind scene where all of the colors are in the wind, and that there's a talking tree, and she was like friends with the animals. I always thought that was so cool. So I loved that movie. And then I also liked Peter Pan, but I didn't own it, so I didn't watch it a ton. But Pocahontas I loved, and Little Mermaid I loved too. Now looking back on Little Mermaid especially, I'm like, this is a little bit cringy, I'm not going to lie. But it's still fun. Like, it took me a little while. I tried to watch it once or twice. I was like, this is just too cringy. And then finally I sat down and watched it. I was like, you know what? This is fun. It's still fun. And I do like Beauty and the Beast as well. I like the live action remake too. I know, like, costume wise and stuff, it's not like correct to the time period, but I do really love it. It's fun, and I love the music in it. You know, be our guest, put ourselves to the test. Okay. And yeah, so what Disney princess would you like to see? Or would you like to see a newer Disney princess like Elsa or Moana or Tiana? If you want to see a Disney princess pattern, let me know what Disney princess it is that you would like to see. I've also thought about doing like a Disney princess keychain series and just doing one princess at a time and like kind of going through the Disney princesses. So that's a concept too, but we'll see. Oh, you're reaching for that keyboard, huh? I knew you wouldn't sit here and do nothing for very long. Eh? Yeah, leave it closed. Do you want to say something now? No? Were you saying Hey Jude with me? Hey Jude, don't make it bad. No. Normally she'd sing along with me, but she's not feeling it. She's a sick little girl. No. And we have a cat named Nala. And just today she started trying to say Nala's name, but she can't say Nala, so she says Nana. And now she keeps saying it. She just goes Nana, Nana, Nana. So it's really cute. Yes, you're the cutest, huh? And this actually irritated me so much. I was hoping I'd have enough dark red, like that burgundy color, to finish, because it's just this line that I have with burgundy in it. But I did end up cutting more. I was like, I'm going to be cutting it so close. I'm going to do 2 knots in a fresh string. I might as well just cut new stuff now. So I did end up cutting more and taping it in, which was so frustrating because it was so close to the end and I needed it for like 7 knots or something ridiculously small like that. So a little bit frustrating, but this is the last row of the actual pattern, and then we just have like a solid black row after this. So we're like at the end of it here, folks. This is it. The end of our Halloween knot along is coming to its conclusion finally. I feel like we've been working on this for like all month, and I think quite honestly it's been a good chunk of the month that we've been working on this. So if you are still here and you're still working on this, thank you. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. Don't tickle the buttons, you'll stop it. But yeah, this is the last row of our pattern. So let's join back up here and see the final result. All right, friends, that concludes the knotting on our pattern. Here is our final result. It looks so good. I'm so happy with how this turned out. I think it looks really cute. Here's the back for all of you who like to look at the back of alphas as well. I think with the flat alpha color change, it looks really, really clean. So that's nice. And you can definitely see the sheen of that DMC black string on the back. But I'm really happy with how this turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed this series. I think it's going to be a while before I do another knot along like this. It was just really, really long-winded. More long-winded than I thought it would be. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And until next time, bye!